lights.
Hey, we're live, so.
Hey, little baby.
Good afternoon.
Hey, we're live. Watch your voices.
Young man, how you doing today? I'm doing great. How you doing? Not bad. How's my voice you doing? So far, so good. You like it? Yeah. Inspirations to go up the ladder?
Good evening and welcome to the Town of Buxton's Selectmen Meeting for January 15th, 2025. Call this meeting to order at 7 o'clock. First order of business is the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Approval of prior meeting minutes for January 8th, 2025.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
I wasn't here.
That's 4 and 1 was absent. Discussions held between 4 and 7. At 4 o'clock, we had a gentleman come in and he had a old railroad sign that has Buxton on it, and he is donating it to the town. It's going to be hung in the hall in the town office, and it's a piece of memorabilia from the old railroad lines. At 4:30, Patty McKenna come in. We talked about
Fees for
um,
businesses approved and
some changes in the free fees that we charge for new permits. At 5 o'clock, we had a resident come in. We talked about the dam removal in Barn Mills here for a little bit. Just things that we've talked about. We haven't heard anything from anybody about new dates for any hearings or anything like that, but we were just catching up on what had been going on. At 5:30, Bill Hall, treasurer, came in. We went into executive session, 1 MRSA 405 personnel from 5:25 to 5:45. And at 6 o'clock, we had realtor come in, and we went over some bids for a piece of property, and that should be settled next week. Projects and issues, Tom.
Yeah, not a lot for me this week. I did speak with Kevin Kimball on Monday morning after the storm over the weekend. We didn't get a lot. Unfortunately, they had a few people out with illness that's going around. It's that season, I guess, so luckily we didn't have a big storm, so they were able to get everything done and without any major issues, but that's it for me.
Frank.
Not a lot for me this week either. I was in the office a little bit, but I want to thank the rescue. My wife was really sick and I had to take care of her, but she was transported by rescue last Wednesday. And the crew that came to the house, I was the Assistant Chief, Jeremy Ridlin, Steve Plimpton, who's a paramedic firefighter, and Anthony Knight. I don't know if he's a paramedic, but he's firefighter EMT. The patient care that they gave my wife and the professionalism was just impeccable. So I want to thank them.
Okay, Mark?
Yeah, did have some communication with our fire chief, Nathan Schools, trying to get information put together for the upcoming union contract. I think Chad will talk more about it, but we do have a new member coming into the appeals board. Did talk with Patty, trying to set up education for the people on the appeals board. We've had a lot of new members, and so there will be an MMA Zoom-type training coming up on the 21st, but like to get our attorney to come in and just give another tutorial after that meeting, so they can have some questions answered and or asked and answered. It's a very important committee in our community, and there's been a lot of change over there, and so to try to bring them up to speed. So that was pretty much the conversations I've had this week.
Chad?
Yes, sir. So this week I spoke to our Recreation Director, Grace Bibber, and the Fire Chief, Nate Schools. And to kind of piggyback off of what Mark was talking about, we've had an opening on our Board of Appeals. And we tossed around some ideas, and Chad Have-You stepped up and said he was more than willing to assist and be on with that committee. So we're going to be doing an executive order shortly here to get him on the Board of Appeals. So.
Okay, I was in a few times this week, as Tom did. I talked to Kevin Kimball, Public Works. I was down there. Everything seems to be running. We've been able to get sand and salt like we want. He brought up a resident has been talking to him about some bamboo that's growing out into the road up off of Churchill. And he's trying to figure out what would be the best way to take care of it. So Public Works is looking into it, and hopefully by spring they'll have a plan to take care of that. Old business. We got a notice from our attorneys that the lawsuit on Tickle Way is settled. The settlement was they established a road association, and they are going to do the repairs to the road set forth in the consent agreement. And they have to do this work before July 1st, 2025. So that is finally settled. New business, the town will be closed Monday, February 20th.
January.
It says February.
I know, January.
It's January 20th.
January 20th, in observation of Martin Luther King Day. Executive orders. Executive order 2425000126. An order appointing Chad Have-You as the position of Board of Appeals member for the municipality of Buxton. Such appointment to be effective until December 31st, 2027.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor? That's 5. Accounts payable and payroll warrant. Executive order 2425000124. An order approving expenditures as documented in payroll warrant 57.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor? That's 5. And that amount was $104,091.06. Executive order 2425000125. An order approving expenditures is documented in accounts payable 58.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor? That's 5. And that amount was $94,393.57.
Can I stop you right there, David? The executive order before that, are we missing a 0? 2425 should it be 000?
Yep.
124?
124.
Yeah, but it should be, should it be,
Yeah,
should it
there's
be
an
3
extra
zeros?
zero.
Yep,
Okay.
I have 3 zeros.
I only got 2 on mine.
I have 3.
Okay,
Well, I read 3 because I
Very good.
guess I didn't read it.
just make sure it's all set.
Next meetings of the board,
Hold on, David. Did we approve Executive Order 214? We did? Okay.
because then I read the amount
Okay.
after we
All right.
approved it. Next meeting of the boards, the next selectmen meeting will be Wednesday, January 22nd, 2025 at 7 PM. The next planning board meeting will be held Monday, January 27th, 2025 at 7 PM. There will be an appeals board meeting on Tuesday, February 21st at 7 PM. Any other business? Public questions and comments?
Dave Hyman, Buxton. Thank you for announcing the Tickle-Way. I've been asking about that.
We just got the paperwork
Yep,
today.
I said, thank you for announcing that. Have they changed or the way that the town, when they're selling equipment, property, anything like that, wasn't that all supposed to go to sealed bid and the bids opened?
You mean foreclosed property?
Yeah, anything that the town was getting rid of.
The foreclosed property, I believe, the new law that came out where the town doesn't keep all the money,
Yeah?
It goes
Well, they
to the
never
air-
used to. I
that-
mean,
that-
they weren't supposed to anyway.
that has to be listed with an agent and offers accepted.
Okay, what does the town charter say?
I don't know. Does that supersede state law?
I'm asking you.
We've never been asked that before.
So the way that that law was written in the past, right, that law came out mandating municipalities that all town-acquired properties through tax, non-payment of tax, with a certain time frame. I think there's a limit. I don't know what year it is. I'm going to say 2015. All those properties, when the town puts it out there for sale, it has to go through a broker, and they have to accept the highest equitable bid, which means, you know, factors like, you know, are they getting a loan, they're paying cash for it, you know, all those factors come into play. And then we have to take those resources, pay back all the town's expenditures that the town has acquired for that property, and all the remaining resources has to be distributed back to the heirs. If our charter says something different, then we're going to have to change it, but at the end of the day, it's state law that supersedes our charter, and that was a perfect example when LD 2003 came out, and when it's basically we had to change our zoning to meet that charter. So I don't know if anything in our charter that states anything about acquired properties. It does state things in there if we are going to sell something like a material item, like a fire truck, or we have to put it out to bid. And, you know, we can refuse all bids, but we have to, and we have to open it through sealed bids. That still remains the same. The things that was changed was the property, and I'm uncertain if the charter specifically states that anything about tax foreclosed property. I don't know of anything in a charter that states anything about that.
Okay, I didn't know, I know it says anything that, I thought it said anything that the town was selling.
Yeah,
And
and that would, and that would be an interpretation, but my interpretation of that is anything that we're selling as far as, you know, fire trucks, police cruisers, anything of that nature that the town gave permission to purchase. The town didn't give permission to purchase a piece of land. We took it of non-payment of taxes. And so I look at that as that the state law now has just come out, and that would over supersede anything that we have. And so we're entitled to do what the state is requiring us to do.
Okay, I mean, they changed the thing for the zoning. They sat right up here and said that we had to change
That's correct.
the laws, so I'm just asking about this, whether that was,
Yep.
that one should be changed or not.
I don't know, well, so the specific thing in your charter that you're describing is for capital items. It's not about,
Okay, it says capital, I don't know, I haven't read the thing. I know that they always had to put them out to seal bid.
right.
I didn't know that it said capital items or this or that.
Well, I don't
Anything
think
that
it
the town was-
specifically, I don't think it specifically says capital items, or I'd have to read it again, I don't remember, you know what I mean? So I guess at this point, we'll have to look at it and get back to you.
I'm just asking,
Yeah,
that's all.
we'll have to get back to you, I don't know the answer.
I brought it up before, the fees that they're charging over at the transfer station. Who makes up those fees?
I think those fees were made up with the direction of the transfer station department head and the board, and asked us if those fees, they were at a certain level, at a certain price, and we were running at a deficit over there, and probably 6 months ago, he sat back with us and said, this is, we need to raise our fees, and this is what he recommended us to raise it to, and we came to some kind of agreement, and that's where the fees come from.
Okay. That's it for now, I guess. Thank you. Oh, other than I said something to the camera operator, but during the planning board meeting, and I said something about it last year on the budget committee meetings. They got the head table, the mics, you can hear the people. During the planning board meeting, whoever sits over there, you can't hear them. And when you guys were over here last year for the budget committee meeting, you couldn't hear. We're always trying to get people to come up to the mic, instead of sitting back, or give them a portable mic during the meetings or something like that. I'm just bringing that up, that you can't hear that table, and you couldn't hear this one last year, before they get started this year.
Were we mic'd last year?
Yeah, we had mics.
One mic was over here
Yeah.
last year, and there was sometimes 3 and 4 people, and you couldn't hear the people.
Anybody else? Seeing none, there's no executive sessions that anybody has after this. I'll take a motion for adjournment at 7:17.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? That's 5. Have a safe week, and we'll see you next week.